All right, thank you. And the next question from Tim Cotter goes to Heather Summers, and you'll have 60 seconds.
Switching gears a little bit. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh. Your turn.
Yeah.
Okay. After the Sandy Hook tragedy, the legislature made some changes to the state gun laws addressing background checks, semi-automatic rifles, and ammunition magazines. Do you support further changes to the gun laws? And if so, what would they be? Or do you think that it's fine the way it is?
No one can dismiss the tragedy at Sandy Hook. I am a pistol permit owner or holder myself. I do not think we need any more restrictions. I think we have some of the most restrictive gun laws in the nation. Look at Chicago. They have the strictest ones, and they still have murders every week. I think that people have a right to own a firearm. If you're a young single mother living in Sterling, Connecticut with 2 children, and somebody breaks into your house, the only equalizer you have between that person and yourself and your children is a firearm in some cases, when it takes 20 minutes for a policeman to show up. So I would not suggest any further restrictions to our current gun laws.
Mr. Bowles, and you have 90 seconds to respond.
Yeah, this is one of the more intense issues that I've ever dealt with as a state representative. I actually voted against the gun bill a couple of years ago, and it's one of the biggest things I've regretted in my life. I voted against it at the time because I listened to my constituents. I sat down with gun collectors, with friends and neighbors, Democrats and Republicans alike, who convinced me at the time it was very onerous. I also, with a behavioral health background, felt that there was not enough in that bill to address the mental health, the critical mental health issues that we have, and clearly that was a presenting problem at Sandy Hook. I have since changed my stand on that. I believe that, for instance, I commend highly the recent bill that was passed to protect victims of domestic violence from gun people, their spouses or significant others that have access to guns, to eliminate that. I also believe that and highly commend the work that Senator Chris Murphy has done on this issue, as well as others. We need a federal approach to the gun problem that we have in this state, in this country. And I would support any effort on that. So I think while the gun law that was passed 2 years ago, and there were a number of legislators in southeastern Connecticut that did vote against it, including Senator Annie Maynard, I think it suffices enough. I think we've made some tweaks in it, including the domestic violence issue.
Thank you. And another 30 seconds to Heather Summers. And just, if you clarify, would you say you wouldn't add any more restrictions? Would you look to repeal any that were passed as having gone too far?
And at this point, there's no will to repeal, so no, I wouldn't do that. I think the other thing that is not addressed, again, as Mr. Bowles has said, was the mental health aspect. I think we need more access to mental health. I don't think that you can legislate someone who has a mental health issue. I think any further restrictions to our gun laws would only hurt law-abiding gun owners. What I think we should do is get tough on crime. We have an early release program here in the state of Connecticut that has released 22,000 prisoners, 70% of which are violent.